Okay, I pushed go live. Let me see what's happening here. Huh. Should be on. I click go live. You can still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm waiting for you to come on. Should be on. Okay. All right. Okay, so we are live now, cousin Joseph. So thank thank you for joining me. Let me turn this volume on the TV down. Hold on one second.
All right.
Thank you for joining me. Let me turn this volume on the TV down. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm back
It's
and I'm
okay.
back. So this is my cousin Joseph Johnson, and he's from St. Louis, Missouri. And why don't you tell people what you do for a living?
Currently, I'm a St. Louis City firefighter.
Okay, and how long have you been a firefighter? Fire. uh, how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing this career for the past 13 years. It'll be 14 in June. Nope, July. It'll be 14 in July.
Wow, that's a long time. So you must really like your job.
I do. It allows me to work with the public here, and the public here actually is cool to work with when
Mm,
you go and do your job the correct way.
mm. So
Because
why did you go ahead? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
for us, a lot of times we're seeing people on their worst and their bad days. So for us to go and be there with them on their worst and bad days is kind of comforting for them. So it's also a pleasure for us.
When did you decide that you want to be a fireman?
Let's see. Well, for me, it was three career paths. It was either doctor, professional sports player, or fireman. And I was first introduced to it when I was younger. My older brother Tracy took me and my niece
Yeah, he told me that
around
story.
going into the firehouse.
Hmm.
And so just walking past there, I thought those guys were pretty cool. So back in 2007, I actually got the chance to take the test and did very well. And here I am today.
How old were you when you went to that fire? When you went to the fire station? Because Tracy told me it was just so awesome. But why don't you tell that story?
We were about, I believe I was whew, maybe seven
Hmm.
to eight when we walked around there. We were on our way to the balloon races in Forest Park. And when we got there, it was it was a really experience. It was a really great experience for us just to see the balloons go up. But on the way back, we passed the firehouse and they actually had the truck outside cleaning it and washing it. It was kind of middle of the day. So, you know,
And so you saw the fire truck, and then what happened?
from there, it was just, over the years, you start wondering, what am I going to do with life? You know, I, I had taken a few courses at school. It didn't pan out like I wanted it to. Then I ended up in the school system as a career, working with special need children.
Hmm.
And once that happened, it was from that point, like I said, I was introduced to the fire service by my then time neighbor, Chief Roy George.
Hmm.
And after that, the rest is history. Took the test, did well, and here I am 13 years later, still loving what I do.
Wow, 13 years. Um, what is your rank, or do you guys have rank?
I'm a fire private. I'm just a private right now.
Hmm. Take me through, because you worked 12 hours yesterday, right?
No, we work 24 hours. We're
20.
24 hours here.
Wow. So you're at the station for those whole 24 hours?
Yeah, we're there for 24 hours.
Oh my goodness. Take me through that. I mean, what I know you can't tell me everything, but what is your typical day on a 24-hour shift?
It varies. At my old engine house, we could be on all kinds of things from fires, car accidents, uh, like I said, medical calls, pregnancies, you name it, we can be on it within that 24-hour span. The new engine house I'm at now is Engine House 29. I'm a member of Squad 2, and that's more of a specialty company. So so at that point, we get called out for just about everything: medical calls, people trapped, people stuck on elevators, fires, rescues. So we can pretty much go to any and everything.
How do you get somebody that's trapped on an elevator out?
With skill and patience.
Do you
A lot
go
of
down?
skill on our part, a lot of skill on our part, a lot of patience on theirs. But it's real simple. A lot of the times we don't have to get a lot of too technical. Most of the time, it's just more so turning off the power to the elevator, to that particular elevator, and then just opening the doors with the keys that are provided for us, and then the latches on the inside.
Mm. So you don't necessarily have to come climb down through that shaft all the time. Is that correct?
Since I've been on squad, they've done it once. I was off. They did it once where they had to go down the shaft from the top and pull the people out through the top.
Mm. Wow. So, what else was I going to ask you? So we talked about that. How? Because you have to be a certain type of person, to me, to run into a fire when other people are trying to run away. How do you? I mean, I'm amazed at you. How do you do that? How do you tell me about that? How do you do that? Go into a fire? Because I saw a picture of you in a newspaper coming out of the fire with somebody over your shoulder, and I was just like, how does he do this? Somebody sent me a news clipping. It was it on Facebook? Somebody put you on Facebook, one of the family members. And I just thought, how is he, where does the strength and the courage come from? How do you do that, man?
I mean, it's really just you just do, and that's the best way I can put it. You just do. When that bell goes off and you're driving down the street and you get there, all kinds of scenarios and things are going through your mind. But at that point, once the time you get there, you look at your partner and it's like, hey, we going to get this, we going to get this, and then you go do what you got to do. You don't think about it a lot of times until you get to that point where something goes wrong. And a lot of times when those things goes wrong, you have other people outside paying attention for you to make sure that you get out alive. So in a lot of the situations, you're depending on what you know and what you've learned and what you've experienced. Then you're also counting on the person right next to you to be with you at every step.
Okay, so you said that you have a partner. So you assigned a person.
So being a part of the squad, you being a part of the squad, it's a 6-man team. It consists of the
Okay.
captain, the driver, and then the 4 other privates on the back. When you step on the scene as part of the squad, you do have a partner, and you and your partner are given specific tasks by the incident commander, and
Mm-hmm.
that commander relays those tasks to the captain, and then that your captain divvies up what he wants you and your partner to do amongst you and the other 2 members of your crew, and then you guys
Mm-hmm.
just go do the job. You know,
I mean, man, I'm just in awe of you. I really am. Um, let me go back to how intense was the training to become a firefighter?
it was different. It was more intense just trying to learn how to do the job the correct way as opposed to what they state. And it's pretty much like just about everything. There's two ways to do things. There's the way you do it once you get out there, and then there's the book way you learn. The
Mm-hmm.
book way you learn is more precision based. You have to do this. You do this constantly with repetition, and it becomes muscle memory. So that when you
Mm-hmm.
get to your assigned house and the street, you're not trying to remember what I have to do, how many feet I got to go up, how much hose I got to drag, how much water I got to pump into this engine house when you're the driver, how far I got to send these dials up to make sure I got my people have adequate water pressure. It just becomes, it just becomes muscle memory because you do it a lot.
Mm. Wow.
But
It's
the training itself, it's an intense training because it's something a lot of us have never really done. For me
yeah.
myself, now I've thrown ladders up to buildings, just to help out with, you know, regular building maintenance like painting a brick wall or, helping my dad do some maintenance around the house with windows or gutters and stuff like that. But throwing it up to a house when you have to put it in place it so that the people on the inside working know where that ladder is for egress purposes in case it goes wrong on the inside. Yeah, it's a totally different thing there because you have to know where it needs to go and put it placement. So yes,
so you have to be
that too is
extremely
repetition and training.
you have to be extremely detail oriented.
You, in a sense, you do have to be detail oriented because if you're not, something goes wrong and somebody's looking for something to be there that can particularly save them and their partner, and it's not, then it's it goes bad real fast.
Wow. Wow. Um, so has there ever been an incident that you thought you might not make it out alive? Has that happened to you?
A couple of times actually. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I've in my 13-year career, I've gone through two floors. Uh, the first floor I went through, my partner at the time pulled me back out of it. Uh, and then the flames came up through the floor after my leg came out. The second
Wow.
time, we were doing what they call overhaul. Is after the fire is out. Now different you're looking for different signs to make sure that the fire has gone out. So you're checking the floor, you're looking at the walls, you're looking for embers, things that are possibly still burning, so that the person who's got the hose can come and put the rest of it out because embers do and will spark later on, even if it's washed all the way down. It's called a rekindle at that point. So as I was going through, uh, me and my partner got separated in the house, and
Hmm.
we knew that there were holes in the house on the floor. We just didn't know where they were completely, and there were some that were missed. The one that was missed, I found, and I ended up falling to the first floor from the second floor. Luckily, I landed right next to a bunch of firefighters who were actually doing some overhauling themselves, and they helped me walk out.
Oh my. So were you injured when you fell?
Yeah, I injured my ankle.
Uh-huh.
That time I injured my ankle. The first time I went to the floor, I had three bruised ribs.
Mm-hmm.
I had three bruised ribs the first time. I injured my ankle the second time, and then uh, recently though we had a hazmat incident
Mm-hmm.
where my partner and myself were tasked to uh, turn the valves off, make sure they were off after the hazmat gas off gas,
Mm-hmm.
and in that incident, my partner and myself were injured.
Mm.
So, you know, had to do the job.
Oh my goodness, part of the job. So you must have some damn good insurance, some good health insurance, huh?
We have what we have. It works.
You got it through. You
Yeah,
have it through the city of St. Louis.
yeah. It's we have a anthem through our job. Yeah, through the department.
Mm. So okay, so at least you got that. You got some good health insurance, because I mean, come on.
I mean, if it was up to me, I would never use it. But I'm glad I have it. It's best to have it
Right,
and not need it, and need it and not have it. So
right, right. Um, I know that they do a lot of shoot. Well, I don't want to offend anybody from St. Louis. I don't want to offend nobody. Y'all don't, don't anybody from St. Louis watching this. Don't get mad at me. I just know what I read in the newspaper. Okay, I'm gonna preface
they
this
know
with that.
it ain't no secret. They know.
I mean, 'cause people, oh, you don't know, you don't live here, you don't come back to visit. I'm just saying what
They
I
know.
read in the newspaper. Don't get mad. So,
They know. It ain't a secret.
uh, have you ever been? Because I've read that sometimes there's some shooting going on there. Have you ever been shot at while you were out on a call? While you were out?
Oh, I me too.
Let's look. Hey,
Say hi.
hi, baby. What's her name?
That is my granddaughter Jariah,
Oh, hi,
and she
Jariah.
run and she
Hi, baby. I can't see her. I can't see her. Where is she? Jariah. There she is.
Jariah.
Hey,
Say hi to
Jariah.
cousin Jeannie.
I got that.
so, anyways, can cousin Joseph?
You said what now? I'm sorry.
Okay, her name is what?
I couldn't hear you.
What's your grandbaby's name?
Jariah.
Jariah. Okay, my
Mhm.
friend Mariah says hi to Jariah. Okay. So, back to the question I was asking. Have you ever been shot at when you were going out to a location?
We have. I have never experienced being shot at while going to a location. There has been some trucks who have been involved in rolling gun battles to the point where they were responding to a call and the gun battle rolled past them and bullets just missed certain members of the truck and hit certain
Mm,
parts of the truck. Um, but as far as my gun battle experiences, I've gone to multiple shootings and where the victims did, of course, some of them didn't make it, and then there were some that we actually had to do medical care on just
mm-hmm.
to get them packaged up to get out of the area and to the hospital as fast as we can. I mean, it's the job we signed up for. I
Mm-hmm.
know it.
So
I
you
know it's
go.
crazy. It's more so a stigma of statements when you hear it. It's what we signed up for, but literally, it is what we signed up for.
Right.
It sucks. It sucks a lot of times because we have to go and be in harm's way just to save the lives of those who put themselves in that way in that way from the get go.
Right. So you undergo extensive medical training also when you are a fireman, correct?
Yes, as of I want to say 2000, anyone coming onto the St. Louis Fire Department after the year of 2000 has to be EMT certified.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take. So you get your EMT while you're on the job doing your probationary. It's best to get it before. That way,
Mm-hmm.
it's just another level. You don't have to worry about doing your probation. You can concentrate more on other things. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once you get it, you have it. You just have to maintain it every 5 years here in the city. As far as the state requires, you have to renew it every 5 years. We
So
also
what's
go
that?
through extensive CPR training and stuff like that.
Okay, so every 5 years you have to do new training, or explain that to me.
So every 5 years here, you most EMTs know, most paramedics know, there's your national registry, which is every 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then based on the parameters of what the state requires you for the state that you live in.
Mm-hmm.
For us here in Missouri, it's 5 years. So every
Okay.
5 years, I have to get my certifications done, and that's pretty
Mm.
much my CEU, my continued education units, and that's just by
Okay.
taking the coursework that we had to do to get the license in the first place. It's a total of 100 hours at least,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a core curriculum of airway management, child management. When I say child management, it's airway breathing. Uh, then you have trauma. That's a broad spectrum of different things and tactics you have to learn to certify it, test out, things like that. And then you have the equipment that you have to worry about, the safety of the scene, different things. It's just different parameters that get you your CEUs. So
Mm.
mine is actually due next year.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have like a booklet that you study to prepare for all of that, or?
So our department, our department as well as a lot of departments around the country, they use a computer based learning system,
Mm-hmm.
online learning more so. And there's different programs out there. You have Target Solutions, you have CE Solutions. That's a different company. You have the one we use here at St. Louis City is a Fire Fire One Rescue. It helps
Okay.
us get our CEUs, and then we also have a lot of the hospitals give weekend courses and training to get you your hours in, your hands-on training and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things we can do around here to get the classes and coursework in.
Okay. Okay. I'll have some more. Are you a part of any type of Black Firemen's Union? Because I know they have that here where I live. There's a Black Firemen's Union. Are you a part of that?
I am. I am. Here it's called Firefighters Institute for Racial Equality.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I am a part of it.
What is the purpose of that association? I mean, I know, but explain that to people who may not know.
It's uh it's for the upward mobility of black firefighters, male and female, on the job. The testings we have, it's a testing cycle that we have, but a lot of us are afraid to take it because they feel they may not stand up to what quote unquote people believe you should be as a leader. So uh they're in place to make sure that, hey, one, no, you deserve this chance.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we're going to be here for you to help you make sure you move forward as best you can, not because you didn't take the test, but once you take the test, you have the tools essential for yourself to move forward. That's
Mm-hmm.
studying, the captains getting together with their different avenues to help us who haven't attained our captains yet move
Mm-hmm.
forward and understand. And for the captains, then you have the battalion chiefs who meet with them to show them how to, hey, this is how you supervise people up under you. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like they're our main goal here at Fire is to make sure we have that chance to move up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's more so if you don't move up and you're part of Fire, it's not because we didn't reach out to help you. It's because you didn't want the help.
Right. So do
Now
you
I
go ahead? I'm sorry.
now I do understand that not everybody is Fire and Fire is not for everybody. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's a personal choice.
Right. Right. So do you feel that you face racism on the job?
It's a latent racism, but yeah, we do. You do. I mean, in all honesty, and this is just me speaking candidly about what I've seen in my 13 years. It's a lot of the times just the makeup of the houses, especially in the inner cities. Uh, there's not a there's not enough of the black faces in a lot of these firehouses across the shifts. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, you may have a shift where you have one black firefighter in the house,
Mm-hmm.
like literally one black firefighter in the house on that shift. And then you have some shifts where the entire shift is all black,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Uh, and then even up in upper management, you have so we here in St. Louis, we have what we call a Kelly schedule. And
Okay.
it's three different shifts, A, B, and C. And those three shifts work a 24-hour shift.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, to give you an example, I got off this morning. B shift came in this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I go back tomorrow. B shift will be off. C
Mm-hmm.
shift right now is on their 4 days, so they have 4 days off.
Mm-hmm.
When I get off Thursday morning, B shift comes back in, and then I start my 4 days
Mm-hmm.
off shift. And then when B shift goes off the following day, C shift will come back in for their first day. B shift will
Mm-hmm.
be finishing up their second day. So it rotates like that. Um, and between three shifts, 33 houses or so, 36 pieces of equipment. I mean, the math in itself, you can literally have an entire engine house where you have not one black person in it on the ship,
Hmm.
you know.
And why do you think that
And
is?
honestly, a lot of us don't come out to take the testing. And then
Mm,
when we do test for the entry level stuff, we don't we don't put our best foot forward because a lot of us are scared of it, or we feel like I'm not gonna make it, so I'm not gonna do all of it. And then you also have an understanding that for us, it's not something that we're bred into.
mm-hmm.
You know, firefighting and policing is a family job for
Mm-hmm.
for that side of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's for us, it becomes that because we want to follow in our parents' footsteps. Whether it
Mm-hmm.
was grandpa was a firefighter, so I want to be a firefighter because it skipped generation because my dad went and became a contractor. But I want
Mm-hmm.
to follow in grandpa's shoes. Uh, mothers, hey, I'm a firefighter. My daughter's coming up. She wants to be a firefighter. So that's where it comes from them. But for that's where it comes from for us. For
Mm-hmm.
them, it's like there is nothing else. When my dad's a cop, I'm gonna be a cop.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, my grandpa, my brother, my uncle, they were all firefighters. I'm gonna be a firefighter. It's like there is nothing else for me. I'm going to be that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lineage for them.
Well, I think I get that because our family's lineage is military.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just found out that we had somebody that fought in the Revolutionary War. I
Mm-hmm.
did not know that. So I get what you're saying about that lineage, because the military has been a part of our family since the Revolutionary War. This is pretty
Yeah.
trippy.
Yep.
So
I
I
mean, look at all our uncles, even your dad.
Yeah.
military, military,
Yeah.
military, military. And then what? Then you got Michael straight into the military.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and who else? I forgot who else went into the military,
There's a
but
whole bunch of them.
our
Sharon's
yeah, our lineage
daughter.
in our family is military.
Yeah. When you say about that lineage, I definitely get that because that's something run through all out our family. We even got younger people now who are in it. So I understand that. Um, I'm going to open it up for some questions. So if anybody has any questions that they feel they want to ask, now's the time to ask those questions. Okay, I'm looking. Boo, boo, boo. Any questions? Mariah, anybody want to ask questions? Question time. Do 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 do. Look, I'm doing the black version. Do 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 do. Okay, nobody's asking no questions. Okay. So the other thing about my wonderful cousin, he does poetry.
I dabble.
So you don't say you dabble. If you a writer, man, you're a poet. So
I,
go ahead.
I dabble. I'm not like some of your others out here who do the spoken word. I have stage
Yeah,
fright.
I've done that.
It fears me to get up and talk in front of people. I'm working on that, but I have done it in the past. But yeah, I dabble. I write down my thoughts and my feelings, and I put them in rhyme. So you know,
You got
but
something to
that
share
was
with?
just for me. It was a way of coping with just understanding what life was. You
Hmm.
know, Uh,
So you want to share something? I think you should share something because I've been talking it up. I've been talking you up. Go ahead and share something.
let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. This is nothing. This is nothing I've ever written. This is straight off the dome. I'm gonna see what I can do real quick. Um, we'll call it For the Streets. Two people meet, not understanding why. Guy on the left is from here. Guy on the right doesn't know why. Few more entities enter the space, not understanding the time nor the place. All they know is that they're in the street. Now, following this interlude, a form of violence somehow ensues. Gunshots ring out, screams and cries. The guy on the left understands why the guy on the right has now died. The streets. The streets are undefeated. No matter how you look at it and think about it, it's true. The streets don't give a care whether you're white, black, or blue. When they do come a calling, it's not a friendly visit. Sometimes it's going to be that way. Graves are going to be dug. Caskets are going to be empty. When those shots rang out, really paid attention to the little girl sitting across the street. No one ever knew. She lost her life that day simply because of the streets. A lot of times you got to leave that mess alone because if you're not in it, then you're just for the streets.
Oof, okay, you got me. You got me. That was deep, cousin. That was deep. Okay. Oh, cousin Kendra just got on. Hey, cousin. Hey, Kendra. Hey, wave, Joseph. Hey, Kendra. So, cousin Kendra, you have anything you want to ask Joseph?
No, big cousin, what's happening?
Waiting for her. She's not saying anything. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else that I need to ask you? Let me think. So, when do you come up for promotion?
Right now I sit on our captain's list at number 93. Right now they are number 74,
Mm-hmm.
74 or 76, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm roughly 18 spots, maybe 17 spots away. And it just
Okay.
depends on who retires within that time frame and enough time for me to move up.
Okay. So that's based on. So your promotions are always based on people retiring, or how does that work?
Uh, captains, battalion chiefs, and deputy chiefs. We get promoted here based on available spots. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, just recently we had a couple of people leave, a couple of people got promoted. So it's I'm just biding my time to either one, wait till my spot comes up after 17 captains, battalion chiefs combination leave, or we have another captain's test.
Okay. Oh, I'm not going to say the word because YouTube would get kind of funny if you say the word. But how has things been since 2020?
I'm sorry.
How have things been since the issue that started in 2020? You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about. They don't want you to say the
oh
word on
my
here.
God. That since the pandemic has happened,
Hmm.
it has really been crazy around here. Not so much as crazy in a bad sense where people have just lost their mind all the time, but it when it first hit, people rebelled against it so much. And me, I'm one of those people that if it shows up somewhere, it's liable to happen somewhere in
Hmm.
the future.
Hmm.
We grew up in a time where all our movies were about pandemics,
Hmm.
outbreak, Z, just many different things. And here we are in 2020, an outbreak.
Hmm.
And it really hit people differently because they weren't ready. Nobody was. But it
Hmm.
was also the way they put it out to us. It was like, hey, this is happening. We ain't got nothing for you, but this is happening. A lot of us felt they could have did different. Um, and then the country went into panic mode at that
Hmm.
point. They went into panic mode, and then they went into defy mode. Like, no, you're not gonna tell me I can and cannot. And
Hmm.
that in itself made it harder. It made it really hard for us as first responders, police officers, paramedics, doctors, nurses, those frontline workers that do this still today, every day. It made it really hard for us because now where you're accustomed to walking into a patient's room and just checking on them, putting your hand ungloved on their wrist, checking their vitals, and then walking back out, sanitizing your hands as you leave, as so many have been accustomed to. Now you look like a toxic Avenger walking into somebody's house just to take their temperature.
Hmm.
It was a bit overwhelming for us, but it was more so overwhelming for them as well because now they're like, why you got on this gear? Why you got all this stuff on? It's our precaution. Well, I
Hmm.
ain't got it. And then when you take their blood pressures and their temperatures, and it's like, ma'am, yeah, you got it. I ain't been
Hmm.
nowhere. We understand. And then a lot of times we caught the brunt of it because it was like, y'all brought this in my house. And I'm like, man, we just got here. No, y'all were here 2 days ago. And it was just like, well, we're sorry. I'm here to help. You know, I mean, it was really bad.
Hmm. Well,
Watch
how is it
family members.
now? Jumping ahead to 2022, how is it now?
I believe everybody has that understanding of what it is now.
Hmm.
Those that still rebel against it, well, they're gonna rebel regardless because you're telling them not to.
Mhm.
Those are those kids that were in school and you like, don't do that. Oh, okay, I'm gonna push this button anyway. Yeah, okay, you get the
Mhm.
consequence. So now the consequences aren't outweighing the means because the means are available now.
Mhm.
So now it's more so you hear about it, but it's not as scary when you hear about it because now everybody has the help that they need. People have gotten the
Mhm.
medications that they need to fight it. Um, those with the upper respiratory system issues have had the situation occur in them, and those that have survived have now become stronger somehow. And it's just people are becoming more free to move about again like they
Mhm.
used to before all this nonsense started. And that's ultimately what people wanted, to be able to have the choice to say,
Right.
hey, I'm putting this on, or no, I don't want to. But don't
Mhm.
feel bad if I don't want to. And
Mhm.
that's the stigma now. How you gonna look at me differently because I don't want to? It's still my choice.
No,
You know.
what happened to me is I had my mask on, and this man tried to fight me because I had my mask on. So that was a situation with me. It wasn't, it was the opposite.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say
And
anything
the
to I
opposite.
wouldn't say anything to him. I'm in here trying to shop, minding my own business. Here comes this big, heavy set white guy trying to, charge at me because I have my mask on. And this white lady stepped in between us and stopped everything because she said she had hers on too. So I guess he said two against one.
I mean, I've seen the opposite side where people walk in with mask on and those without masks look at them like, why you got your mask on? Look
Mm-hmm.
at them like they got two heads. I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, the same rules apply that applied before.
Mm-hmm.
Respect.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta like it. It's not for you. If it's not for you, that's fine. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna put it on. Respect my
Right.
choice. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when you choose to not respect my choice and exercise your right to try to do tomfoolery, don't get mad at the consequence.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. But I think people should do what they feel is right. That's my personal opinion. But like you said, it's a respect thing. Don't charge at me because I'm choosing to do what I feel necessary to protect myself and my family. So that's where I'm at. You know, you
And I
can do it.
believe that's
You do it the heck you
and
want to, but stay from around me. Stay up from look, stay from up around me.
right.
Stay
And I
from up
believe
around me.
at this point, with everything with everything opening back up
Mhm.
on a grander scale to make it so much more of a normal world like it was before,
Mhm.
I think people are actually settling down a little bit more.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you still can't take your eye off the ball because it's still something that could eradicate so many people in such a short time. It did it. It showed
Mhm.
itself. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, we all still have to be proactive in doing what we need to do. If you wear your mask, you wear your mask. If you don't wear your mask, you don't wear your mask. At the end of the day, it's still your choice, but respect the boundaries of others.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, stay up from around me. Stay up from around me. You do what the hell you want to do, but stay from up around me, and you ain't coming in my house. Don't even try. Look, I'm clapping. Don't even try. Don't even try. You ain't coming in my house.
You know, I think it's funny now because back in the day, you couldn't walk in the store with a mask on. You get
Yep.
shot.
Yep.
You walk in the store without a mask on now, you get shot. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
make your mind up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you don't wear that mask in the store now, boy, you get all kinds of looks and statements. It's like, no, put your mask on, put your mask on.
But see,
Walk
that's
in
that's
back in the day, boy, take that
yeah.
mask off. You can see your
Mm-hmm.
face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Times are crazy. Okay, so Kendra said, "Why didn't you go to the military?"
I actually tried, Kendra. I tried. I went to the Air Force
Mhm.
recruiting office at the time, and they were like, because you had asthma, and it was straight out of high school. They was like, because you had asthma, you can't. And that was that whole, if you had asthma in the military, you can't do this. It was back then when if you had any kind of ailment that made it look like you were a weaker soldier, they wasn't letting you in.
Mhm.
So, uh, literally 6 years ago, I tried to enlist again in the Navy, and it was a different story. At that time, I just had to lose the body weight uh, to get down to weight, and I just never could make the weight.
Mhm.
That's all. I just never could make the weight, and it was like
Mhm.
you actually have to be. It was like for 5'11", you have to be 190. At the time, I
Mhm.
think I was like 220. I was like, okay, I'll do my best, and I was working out every day, eating right, changed the way I had eaten, and I just never could get down to 190. Even now, I still can't. I think I've cracked 190 now since I've started the keto diet
Mhm.
once, and that
Mhm.
was because I was playing basketball that entire week, and I got
Mhm.
down to 190, but then I shot right back up over the week over the weekend. So it was like, yeah, but I
Mhm.
wanted to, I did. I wanted to. It was more so for me to, for me, it was more so for the insurance.
Mhm.
It wasn't for anything else of service. It was more so for the insurance. And
Right.
for me, the military, as far as the branch, the Air Force fit me.
Mhm.
It fit me, because I wasn't finna go and start shooting at people, and I definitely wasn't looking to try to fix on tanks and drive tanks and stuff like that. But uh, put me behind a computer screen, I could probably get you where you need to be. You
Mhm.
know, technical support, medical, and the Air Force is more medical than a lot of
Mhm.
people think. So yeah, I'd have been fine.
Mm. Okay. Let's see what else did. Let me see. Oh, Kendra, she said your cousin, your poetry was deep. I told you it was. I told you it was deep.
Hey,
You need to write some more.
I got a bunch of stuff around here.
We need to do some stuff together. What do you think about that? Because I write. We need to do
I'm
some
cool
poetry
with it.
together. We,
I'm cool with it.
yeah, we'll discuss that at a later date. We might come on,
That's fine.
and have a cousin hour, and maybe we collab on a poem. Then you go, and then I go. Then you go back and forth, back and forth.
Okay, I can do that.
We could do that. We could make that happen. Oh, another question. Um, a question I've been asking everybody. Uh, do you call yourself African American or Black, and why?
I So for that statement to be true for me,
Hmm.
I don't use either.
Okay, but when you're on your little application, they gotta when they ask you, because you can
For
write.
applic for application reasons, the section that you have Caucasian, Hispanic, Hispanic, non-Hispanic heritage,
Hmm.
Black, and then other.
Hmm.
A lot of times I just pick other and write Creole.
Yeah, because our grandfather, people don't
There you go.
realize that our
There you go.
grandfather was Native American, was part Native American. You actually got to go out here to his farm, correct?
I did not go that day.
Oh, I went. I went with Earl and Uncle
I did not.
Clarence. We went out to his farm, and it was huge.
No, I didn't. I didn't go that day. That was I think that was the weekend. They all went. All the kids went. All his
Hmm.
kids went. My mom went. I still have that. I think I still have that picture of them two on my phone somewhere, or in
Hmm.
something. But I think I have that picture of them two together. And he looks he looks just like them boys. Woo,
Hmm.
just like them boys. But no, I didn't get a chance to. I actually told my mom I didn't want to go. I think
What you?
I had an attitude about the entire situation. I
Yeah.
believe at that time I had a clear cut attitude about it. And when she told me about it, and going out there, I was just like, I don't want to go. No, I don't need to see him. I ain't seen him in all this time. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand, looking back hindsight, he was a part of history of the family that I didn't get to meet. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I was just I was just in that mood, like, I don't care, you know.
Right.
Just didn't.
When I met Grandpa, he had Alzheimer's, so it was difficult. And Uncle Clarence is trying to make him remember stuff that happened when they were kids, and he,
Mhm.
of course, he didn't. But I'm glad that I went. I'm glad I got to meet him. I saw my father in his face, and so yeah, when I looked at him, I saw my dad. So that was interesting to see my dad and somebody else, because all this whole time I've never. I mean, they said when I was a baby, but you don't remember that. But
Right.
just to see, okay, this is my dad's father, and the same face and the same voice and the mannerisms, and the fact that the men in this family like westerns. And when I came into the house, Grandpa had a western on. I said, okay, I see where all this stuff comes from.
Man, don't the men in this family like Western?
Yeah. So
They do.
that was very interesting, um, to see that, to see, okay, this is where the love for westerns come from, because I hate westerns. So it was interesting. It's just, I was just kind of more so just taking it all in
But it
and
wasn't
look.
just the men. It wasn't just the men. The women
Mm,
liked them too. Cause I could stop by Granny's house on a regular basis and catch her watching a couple. And my mother had them all: Gunsmoke,
mm-hmm,
Danza.
mm-hmm,
I mean, the Western shows was on, and I've actually saw Auntie watching them a couple of times too. You
mm.
know, she was in the other things. Yeah, that had me. That's what I think. My auntie made me look at life differently.
You talking about Aunt Erlene, correct?
Aunt Erlene, yes, Aunt
Right.
Erlene made me look at life differently with things she watched,
Mm-hmm,
and I was just like, okay. And I mean, she actually helped me with a lot of the bad visions I thought existed in the world with the things she watched.
mm-hmm,
It was just like her mindset was more so, it's a part of life, baby. And that
mm-hmm,
rang so true to me at a young stage that I understood a lot of stuff from that point forward.
mm-hmm.
So
Um, I don't know if you want me to tell this story or not, but it's such a trip. I kind of want to tell it. When you and Stacy got married, can I tell that story?
yeah, you can. It's
Okay,
ancient history.
guys. My cousin Joseph uh, got married to my cousin Stacy. Joseph is from my father's side of the family, and cousin Stacy is from my mother's side of the family. And they got married, and when I went to the wedding, I was related to everybody there. I didn't know what side to sit on, what side of the family to sit on, because I would sit on the Johnson side, and then Grandma Mozella, she said, "No, you're a Rogers. Your daddy is a Rogers. You come sit on the Rogers side." So I go sit on the Rogers side, and
I
then
I,
somebody,
I heard her
yeah,
say that.
yeah, and
I
then
actually I
somebody
actually
from
I
the,
think all the actual me, my brothers, we actually laughed at that. We were actually snickering when she said that because she told everybody, she's like, if you're a Rogers, Jackson, Johnson, whatever, you sit over here. And
yeah,
we just started cracking up.
yeah. So she was like, although Joseph's name is Johnson, so when my cousin married him, her last name did not change. Her name was Johnson still. But that
No,
was
it
the
changed. It
oh
changed.
did I thought
Yeah,
last name was Johnson.
her grandmother's maiden name was Johnson.
Okay, what
Her,
was her
her
name?
married name was McCombs, so her last name was McCombs.
Mm.
So
But
when we had married,
it was wild. I mean, that was the
it was true
wildest
about.
experience. Going back and forth to east side of the church, sitting here for a while. Okay, I'm gonna sit on Johnson's side. Then I left. Okay, now I got to sit on Roger's side because people were like making a big stink out of it. So, and how did you guys find out? 'Cause I remember, what was that story? You went to Grandma's house, or did you go to
Uh-uh.
Stacy's house?
We were so when we were dating, I had went to see her, Stacy, and when I got there, I saw the picture of you and Ronnie,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "How you get this picture?" Because like I was like literally upset. Like, did you steal this picture from my house? And it
Mm-hmm.
dawned on me she hadn't been there. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Whoa, how you get this picture of my cousin?" She's like, "Who?" I said, "Jenny, Ronnie." She's like, "Them are my cousins." I stepped back. I was like, "No, wait a minute, hold up." And so her mother heard the conversation, and she came out. And when she came out, she brought a picture of Aunt Pat. She said,
Mm-hmm.
"This is my cousin Pat." I say, "That's my Aunt Pat." I say, "She's married," and I say, "She's married to my uncle." And me and Stacy said at the same time, "William." I like, "Oh no," I left. I left. I left. I got home. She called me. She called me like I left and I got home, and that was before cell phones, everybody. So when I got home, my mother was like, "That girl called you 4 times." She's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Mom, uh, she and I are related to Jeannie and Ronnie." She's like, William?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "How is she related?" I was like, "Pat's her cousin. That's my aunt." She's like, "So Ronnie them her." She's like, "What stage are Ronnie and Jeannie to her as far as cousins?" I was like, maybe second."
Second
She's
cousins.
like,
Mm-hmm.
"Boy, y'all fine." I was like, "No, no." She's like, "They're first cousin. Shit, they're her second cousin. You're fine."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, mm-mm. She's like, "Okay, we'll settle this." So she called my aunt Earlene. My
Mm-hmm.
aunt Earlene called my granny. My granny called me. I gave her Stacy's grandmother's number. They
Mm-hmm.
got together. They conversated. I went and picked up Granny. We went over to Stacy's grandmother's house, and they sat there and they went down the family history to see where
Mm-hmm.
it broke off at.
Mm-hmm.
And when it broke off, they came out. They was like, "Y'all fine,
Yeah.
y'all fine." And they, man, them two old ladies laughed at us, but it was funny because they was like, "But y'all did the right thing because you never know who your
Mm-hmm.
family is." So it was crazy, man. It was
Yeah. It
crazy.
was, and St. Louis is, it's a small city, so you don't know. Because I remember my cousin Michael was going to school with a cousin from my my mom's side, and they were
Mhm.
friends. And
Uh-huh.
say, and that happened a couple times that cousin from one side was going to school with the cousin from the other side, and they were best
Mhm.
friends and didn't even know it until later because they saw a picture of me, saw a picture of me of Veronica, and they said, "Oh, wait a minute, I think we're related." So that's happened several times, but that's St. Louis. St. Louis is small, and you
Yeah.
just don't know.
Yeah.
I saw somebody at Snook's grocery store the day of Grandma's funeral, Mozella's funeral. And I saw it at Snooks. And then later on that day, I saw at Grandma's funeral. I said, "Weren't you at Snooks earlier?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "So I guess we're related." I said, "I'm cousin so and so." And she's, "Oh, well, I'm so and so." I was like, "Okay, we're cousins some kind of way." But we didn't
Mhm.
figure out. I said, "I know." I said, because I said, "We're related," but we didn't have time to go down all this stuff. But that's how
Mhm.
St. Louis is. It's small, and you just never know.
Yeah. My just like my daughters, they were going to school with cousin Tony's grandkids for a
Hmm.
moment. They were in their
Mhm.
Imagine together. And I
Mhm.
walked into school one day, and I saw her. I saw them walk through, and I didn't pay it no mind. And when I looked at them again, I had went over to cousin Tony them's house, and I was like, "What school they go to?" And they was like, "They go to Imagine over on Spring." I was like, "They go to the same school with my daughters." I was like, "I think one of them is in my was in one of my daughter's classes." She's like, "You know what? That girl came home and said she seen one of her cousins in one of
Mhm.
her classes, but she didn't know what to say." And she
Mhm.
said she thinks her daddy is the basketball coach. She said, "You coach the basketball over there?" I was like, "Yeah." And it was like her last year there because they went to a whole nother school. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's crazy.
But that is St. Louis. St. Louis is well, it's small compared to Texas, anyways.
Yeah,
Cities in Texas. So you just never know. So the moral of that story is we all need to, even though Grandma's gone, we all need
extra
to.
DNA.
Yeah, we do that. We could do that, and then also, uh, when this stuff goes down, we need to gather again. When we used to go to Christmas parties, Grandma used to throw these big Christmas parties so we all could know each other. And
I miss
since
those.
I do
I
too,
really
and
do.
since she's gone, we haven't done that. And I think that once this stuff gets under control, we need to meet up and have a night, have some kind of holiday party where we can all get together like we used to. I think that's a shame that that went away when grandma passed. But
Yeah,
anyway, that's a whole
yeah,
nother issue.
yeah.
So Joseph, I want to thank you for coming on my little YouTube show.
Nah, man, I
I
had
just
blast.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you. I mean, to me, you are a hero in my eyes for all the things that you do, and I love that you find time to write about life and poetry. And if you guys like this program, if you liked this live stream, go and look at my other. I have a comedy playlist where when I do sketches. I have documentaries on my channel, singing, you name it. I have a lot of different categories on my channel. Look at some of the older videos when I first started this channel. And so
Hmm.
look at all of that and like and subscribe to my channel. Joseph, thank you again, cousin. I love you. And we're gonna do some poetry together. So y'all look forward to that in the future. And just stay safe. And God bless you. I want to give you love, peace, and hair grease.
Oh, sister, right on.
I'm saying hair grease. I need some hair grease. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye,
All right,
cousin.
Jenny. Love y'all. All y'all
Love
that
you.
came on. Thank y'all. See
Thank
y'all.
you.
God bless.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.